Hello lovely people. So today we're going to be talking about group therapy, what it is, how it started, and the pros and cons of it all. So let's get into it. So group therapy is a type of therapy that normally involves 7 to 12 people on average. This can be less or more depending on the group and the person who is provided the group therapy. Different companies and organizations will probably have different rules about this, so the average is 7 to 12 people in a group. Confidentiality is still the same as it would be in any other therapy. Whatever is spoken about within the group stays within the group and between members of the group and nobody else. Group therapy was first used by Joseph Pratt, Trigant Burrow, and Paul Schilder in the early 20th century. After the Second World War, several psychologists, including Irvin Yalom, developed group therapy further, but it was actually pioneered originally by Mr. Fawkes and Wilfred Bion, who pioneered it in the UK independently. They used it as a method of treating fatigue from the Second World War. Personally, I've never been in group therapy and I've never taken part in it, and it's very similar to a support group or an AA group, something like that, but it's not exactly the same. It's slightly different. So from my research, it starts off in a quite similar way. Everyone introduces themselves and they, say what they're here for, but normally people will be there for the same cause. So most of these group therapies will be based on all the individuals sharing a similar goal, like overcoming anxiety, dealing with grief or the loss of a child, or dealing with menopause or specific relationship problems, or maybe illness in the family, or being a carer. So everybody in the group will be coming together because they have that one thing in common that they are kind of working through. And the group will usually have 1 or 2 therapists depending on how big the group is. So I imagine that the bigger the group is, the more therapists that there will be. I don't think it goes beyond 2 because I feel like by then there might be too many people to be able for everyone to get a chance to speak. Personally, I used to think that group therapy was something that a group of people just chose to do together just because maybe they had something that they wanted to sort out together. So instead of like family therapy or couples therapy, it'd be like maybe a group of friends or a group of colleagues who are struggling with something within their relationship or in their communication or something, and they want to sort it out together and work out their differences. That's what I used to think group therapy was. And I think it might still be counted as group therapy, because if a group of friends wanted to go to therapy, I'm sure they could, or a group of colleagues for whatever reason. I think that should be allowed. But anyways, let's get on to the pros and cons of group therapy. So starting with the pros, one of the big pros of group therapy is that it can really act as a support network, especially when you're going through something that's quite unique and different, or something that other people in your life are not experiencing. Everyone in the group therapy can be empathetic with you because they are going through something similar, and only they can understand really what it feels like to go through what you're going through. Especially if the people in your life are generally not supporting or caring, or you don't want them to know what you're going through, then the people in the group therapy can be a source of support and a support network, which is really, really good, because we all need support networks in different areas of our lives for different reasons. Another positive of group therapy is that if you're struggling to achieve a goal or to do something, having a group can help you have accountability, people who can hold you accountable, people who can encourage you and cheer you on while you try to achieve whatever you're trying to achieve, because you'll meet with them probably once a week or once every 2 weeks to discuss things. So that will be really helpful as well. They can offer motivation and encouragement simply just by hearing your struggles and encouraging you to keep pushing on, and hearing about other people overcoming and reaching certain goals might also be a source of motivation for you. Another pro of group therapy is that group therapy can bring you into contact with so many people from different backgrounds, with different cultures, and as a result you'd be exposed to different mindsets, different ways of thinking, and different perspectives. So just hearing other people's perspective and way of seeing life can be something that can open your mind. It can unlock, give you a eureka moment, can help you to understand things in a different way and see things from different perspective. And sometimes all we need in life is a shift in perspective. Not all the time, but sometimes it drastically changes our mental health. Even the way we live our lives can change drastically just by hearing a different perspective. Kind of like, is the glass half full or half empty kind of thing. So those are some of the positives. Leave below in the comment section what are the positives you think can happen as a result of group therapy. And if you've ever been in group therapy, let me know what it was like for you in the comment section. So one of the major cons I think of group therapy is that you might not always have the chance to speak, depending on how big the group is, especially if there are people that like the sound of their own voice, or people who like to really take up space, or people who have a lot to get off their chest and just can't stop speaking, then it definitely will prevent people who are a bit less vocal from getting the chance to speak and share, unless maybe the counselors or the therapists are able to set boundaries and give everyone a certain time to speak, or to organize who gets to speak on what time and what day. Then of course it can be a little bit different. But if the group is kind of free flow, then the chances of everyone getting to speak equally is quite low. The other main con of group therapy is that there's less focused intervention and less individual intervention, because obviously everyone is there because there's other people that also need intervention. So you're not going to get that one-to-one effort. You might get 30% intervention one week, another week you might get 70%, another week you might get 95%. But because the energy of the therapist or the counsellor has to be spread out between so many people, it's harder to specifically work on the things that are bothering you and your specific goals, and speaking to you about what's going on with your feelings and blah blah blah. So intervention is definitely a lot less focused, and as a result it might take you longer to get to where you want to get to or achieve your therapy goals, because you don't get that one-to-one time. So where one-to-one therapy, you might get the help you need within 12 weeks of therapy, in a group session you might need 30 weeks or 1 year, simply because there's less energy focused on helping you achieve your goals. Another con that I thought of was that there might be personality clashes. You may not like someone, they may not like you for whatever reason, and this can add tension to the group on top of the problem that everyone is already there for. Having that extra bit of problem, the extra bit of tension, will definitely probably slow things down, slow down progress, because instead of focusing on your healing or whatever you're there for, you're now also thinking about that person who's there. Every time they speak or every time they do something, you just feel annoyed, you just feel agitated and irritated that they're even speaking. So that can definitely hinder your growth within a group therapy session. Another con is that, unlike individual therapy, with group therapy you can't reschedule or you can't cancel the sessions. You kind of, if you miss a session, you miss it. There is no rescheduling because it's set up for everybody, it's set up for everybody's convenience. So if you can't make it, whatever happens in that week, you miss it. And some companies will say, if you've already paid or if you do miss a session, that's your money you still have to pay. So that's also another big loss if that's the case financially. So if you miss a session, you can't reschedule, and if you're only allowed maybe 12 sessions or 30 sessions, that goes towards those sessions and you can't get those sessions back, or you can't have them rescheduled, which is unfortunate. So that's all the information I have on group therapies. I hope that was helpful and I hope you learned something new. If you've had group therapy before, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to watch my vlog, and don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to leave a comment. And I will see you very soon. Bye.